Can you believe it's already that time of the year? Overwatch League Season 6 is set to begin on Thursday, April 27th. We are so close to another exciting year after a dreadful off-season. The only issue is, communication hasn't come with the same frequency or clarity as years past. There's so much going on, but no real central point of information to cover all of the basics. If you're looking forward to the upcoming action, but don't know exactly what to expect, and you're a little confused, you aren't alone. But never fear, my friends, you've come to the right place. This video contains a proper, time-stamped guide of important information on Overwatch League 2023. From format, to drops, to where to watch, and so much more. Your boy's got you covered. Here is everything you should know heading into Overwatch League Season 6. A good starting point is format and league structure. Like the previous 3 years, the Overwatch League will be split into 2 regions, the East and West. The West remains the same as last year, with 13 teams total competing. The only difference is, the LA Valiant will be swapping places with the Dallas Fuel, who moved out east. Every other team from the last year is sticking around. The East is where things get a bit more interesting. Only 6 Overwatch League franchises will be competing in regular season qualifiers, with 6 other teams joining them during the knockout portion of tournament play. And yes, I said 6 teams, cause it appears the Chengdu Hunters, at least for now, will not be competing. Their parent company apparently isn't that interested in coughing up the money for a roster, so they're missing in action for the time being. The teams competing are the previously mentioned Dallas Fuel, plus the Dynasty, Spark, Dragons, Charge, and Soul Infernal. And don't be mistaken, Soul Infernal are not some new team. It's the Philadelphia Fusion rebranded and relocated to Seoul. The rest of the teams joining the Eastern region this year qualify from Contenders Asia, Australia, and APAC. As of this video, those teams have yet to be decided, as the Spring Stage Open will not end until the start of May. And if you're into late night or early morning professional Overwatch, you can find those games on broadcast either on the OWL YouTube channel or Contenders channels. Qualifying teams will join the East region Spring Knockout, which I'll go over in detail a bit later. These teams will have a chance to prove themselves against Overwatch League rosters and possibly advance to the Mid-Season Madness tournament. This open ecosystem idea is really interesting, and it'll be very fun to see if any Tier 2 rosters can make a serious run. As for the season itself, it will be broken down into 2 halves, focusing on 2 global, live LAN events. We're moving away from multiple tournaments a season and focusing on just 2, the Mid-Season Madness and the playoffs. The first half of this year is the Spring Stage Knockouts, and the Mid-Season Madness. Like last year, this will be a global tournament, meaning that teams in the East and West will face each other. The Mid-Season Madness will consist of 6 teams, 4 from the West and 2 from the East, and it will be a double elimination bracket. This section of the season will span from opening day, April 27th, until June. The second half of the season will focus on finishing up the remainder of the regular season and the play-in tournament to get us to playoffs. It's basically a mirror image of Phase 1. It starts with the summer stage qualifiers for both regions, with the East once again offering spots to contenders teams for the knockouts through an open tournament. Here's where things slightly diverge though. The West will not have knockouts this time. Instead, they're going to jump right into the play-ins after their qualifiers. But in the East, there will once again be a knockout round where contenders teams have a chance to make it through to the play-ins. Once all of that is good and done, the East will get into their play-ins. This section of the season will span from July until partway through September, and that's pretty much the roadmap we have available to us at this time. Playoff information is still yet to be determined, but I'll likely make a future video breaking it down when that information gets released to the public. To cover games played and scheduling, each team in the West is likely set to play about 16 regular season qualifying matches, 8 in the first half, and I'd assume 8 in the second. The East, though, that could be more complicated. Every OWL team plays 5 matches where they play the other 5 teams in their region over the first 3 weeks to establish their record, but then they're going to jump immediately into knockouts where it's unclear if any of the remaining games will impact their record. I'd assume since the knockouts last for a couple of weeks over there that maybe there's a chance that some of these games will count towards their record to ensure they play the same number of games as the West. but don't quote me on that, as it's very unclear how this will work since it's not well explained. But just know, at minimum, the East is set to play 5 games each stage, most likely that will go towards their record. Any additional matches teams play from both sides will come through knockouts, tournament play, and of course the playoffs. In terms of qualification and league standings, this year the league is doing away with points and transitioning back to the classic win-loss record from qualifiers to decide the order of the standings and any seeding for tournament play this year, as well as the playoffs. What does that mean for tournament bonuses exactly? Well, it's looking like they probably won't exist or they won't play much of a factor. We're going back to the simplicity like we had for the first couple of years. Every team's journey to the top will start the week of April 27th. Start times and schedule will vary by the week. Typically, with the exception of opening week, Western matches will run Friday through Sunday on YouTube Gaming. Sorry to say, Twitch enthusiast, but the league, at least for now, will be sticking strictly to YouTube. Feels like a missed opportunity to me, but I digress. The usual start time of the first match will be 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific. In the East, opening week will be just 3 games on Saturday, but after that, it's gonna get crazy. The next 2 weeks will be Friday through Sunday, with the other 2 weeks being just the weekend. Usually start times for the first match is 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific. And be sure to remember there will be bye weeks for both regions throughout the year, so keep a close eye on that schedule. On the topic of live broadcast, your broadcast talent for this year is as follows. On the desk, Zoe, Reinforce, Danny, and the newly added Jake, who surprisingly makes his return to the Overwatch League broadcast. It'll be fun to hear his analysis as a former player and coach of the game for many years. Now, some of you may have noticed a lack of cust on that sentence. Well, that's because he's transitioning into casting this year. He's going to be casting the games alongside Jaws in 2023. And your other casting duos for the year are as follows: Like Day Lemon Kiwi, Vicky Kitty Necra, Achilleos Avril, and of course, the almighty Uber Mr. X. No need to fear, my friends, Uber's not going anywhere, at least for this year. The final bit of info to cover in this video that a lot of you have of course been waiting for is the drops. Tons of people who aren't even fans of the league always want to know what's up with their tokens and free rewards, and I'm happy to say that drops and viewer incentives are back. To start earning free rewards, all you have to do is follow 3 simple steps. First, sign into your Battle.net, or make one if you haven't already. Next, link your YouTube account with your Battle.net. A simple way to do so, if you haven't already, is to look for what we have right here on the screen when a broadcast is live. After that, you're set to start earning rewards. From the looks of it, we'll earn 5 tokens for every hour watched, with occasional double tokens likely to be thrown in from time to time. Additionally, every part of the season will have unique rewards. If you tune in opening week from the 27th through 30th, you can earn a name card and sprays. If you watch during the spring stage, you can earn Overwatch League home and away skins for the Overwatch 2 variants of Genji and Orisa by watching Eastern and Western matches. As of this video, we don't know what other incentives will be available for the future tournaments, but they'll likely get revealed as we get closer to those dates, so keep an eye on any news with social media as well as the Overwatch League website. So yeah, by watching the league this year, you're going to get tokens, free name cards, free sprays, and skins. There is a lot to earn, so make sure to connect that Battle.net account to YouTube ASAP. And as I'm recording this, Overwatch League has officially launched their Pick-ems for this year, which gives you even more room to earn free rewards as well as climb the leaderboard to show off your skills. From the looks of it, it is mostly the same as last year in terms of how it works, but there are some cool bonuses involved that can get you even more stuff. Literally just by making predictions and by getting some correct predictions, you could be getting some free OWL tokens, and I'm assuming this is something that'll go on throughout the entire year, and it'll build up where you can keep getting 3 at a time. And of course, there's also the token matches, which will net you another 3 tokens if you correctly predict the game. There's also a couple of other brand new, unique features that they've never used before that are pretty cool. One is match statistics. By clicking in the top right corner, you can get a plethora of useful information that can help you pick a team if you're undecided on a matchup. One thing that stands stands out for me is fan voting percentage. Maybe you want to try and be spicy and climb the leaderboard by picking an upset, and this is a great way to do so to show you how you could possibly get a leg up if you have a good feeling on a certain game. The other new addition in the mix this year is the double point boost bonus. Essentially, this is something you can use on a game you're very confident in to get double the points if you get it correct, including the score as well. You can get a +6 if you get it perfectly, which is insane. If you're someone that's looking to try and climb to the top of the leaderboard and you want to do it for the glory or maybe the prizes that come with it, here's your chance to do it strategically. Each stage offers 2 double point boosts, and there's also some additional opportunities to gain even more. Literally just by predicting your first 25 matches, you're gonna get one. Keep in mind this is more so just for the leaderboard aspect of it. It doesn't really affect the number of tokens you earn, but still a really cool feature nonetheless, especially for those of you who really take your predictions seriously. Anyway, that's the lowdown on some of the important information you should be aware of at the start of Overwatch League Season 6. I hope you found this guide helpful and feel better prepared to take on the season ahead of us. If anything is still confusing, or you have any other questions, leave a comment down below and I'm sure I or somebody else could help you out. Unfortunately, some things are still a little unclear because the league didn't properly word and explain everything, so some things really won't have an answer. And it helps that I can't cover everything yet because not a lot of stuff is out to the public still. The lack of communication and clarity this year kind of sucks, but I do hope that this video cleared up some confusion. And hopefully you're super excited for what's to come this year. If you enjoyed this video and you're interested in learning more about the league, consider checking out my team preview videos and my power rankings, which you can find in the end card. I'd also appreciate it if you support the channel by liking this video and subscribing. It helps out a ton. And until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.